Hey, this is Henry from Playerole. Welcome again to another episode of Creatures of the Realm. Tonight, we're going to go over the Dracolich. I love the Ds. They have a lot going with the Ds. Let's see if the Dracolich is worth it. I'm going to go over it. I want to talk to you about it. Tell me what you think. But before that, let's play the intro. Hey guys, this is Henry from Playerole. We are back. We're going to talk about the Dracolich. What's good about it, what's bad, and the Dracolich has a lot going for it. Let's see if it does. Even as long-lived as they are, all dragons must eventually die. This thought doesn't sit well with many dragons, some of which allow themselves to be transformed by a necromantic energy and ancient rituals into powerful undead Dracoliches. Only the most narcissist dragons choose this path, knowing that by doing so, they sever to all ties to their kin and the dragon gods. A Dracolich retains its shape and size upon transforming its skin and scales, drawing tight to its bones or sawing away to leave a skeletal from behind. Its eyes appear as glowing points of light floating in shadowy sockets, hinting at the malevolence of its undead mind. Though many dragons pursue vain goals of destruction and dominance, Dracoliches are more nefarious than most evil dragons, driven to rule over all. Dracoliches are friendly, intelligent tyrant that crafts complex webs of foul schemes, attracting servants, motivated by greed and lust for power, acting from the shadows and actively plotting to keep its existence a secret. A Dracolich is cunning and a challenging foe. Let me know what you think about this. Let me continue. Creating a Dracolich requires a cooperation of a dragon and a group of mages or cultists that can perform the proper ritual. During the ritual, a dragon consumes a toxic brew that slays it instantly. The attendant spellcaster then ensnares its spirit and transfers it to a special gemstone that functions like a lich's. As the dragon's flesh rots away, the spirit inside the gem returns to animate the dragon's bones. If a Dracolich's physical form is ever destroyed, its spirit returns to the gem as long as the two of the same plane. If the gem comes into contact with another dragon's corpse, the Dracolich spirit can take possession of the corpse to become a new Dracolich. If the Dracolich's spirit gem is taken to another plane, the Dracolich's spirit has nowhere to go, then its undead body is destroyed and simply passes to the afterlife. Let me know what you think of all this. Their resistance. The Dracolich has resistance to necrotic damage. Their immunities. The Dracolich has immunity to poison. It also retains any immunity it had prior to becoming a Dracolich. Dracolich can't be charmed, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned. It also doesn't suffer from exhaustion. Magic resistant to Dracolich has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Ancient Blue Dracolich. Armor class 19. Huge Undead Lawful Evil. Hit points 225, and it's 18d12 plus 108. That's how you figure out your hit die. Speed 40 feet, it burrows 30 feet, and it flies 80 feet. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. So, strength is 25, modifier 7 plus 7, dexterity 10, constitution 23, plus 6 modifier, intelligence 16, plus 3 modifier, wisdom 15, plus 2 modifier, charisma 19, plus 4 modifier. Saving throws plus 6, constitution plus 12, wisdom plus 8, constitution plus 10. Skills, perception plus 14, stealth plus 6, damage resistance, necrotic, damage immunities, lightning, and poison. Condition immunities, charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, and poison. What does this all mean for your game? Well, if you have a Dracolich, it can't be charmed, doesn't get exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned. If you have any players in your party, or the party tries to do these things that can charm a creature or whatnot, what that means, condition immunity, it is immune to those things. None of it will work. Now, damage immunity, lightning and poison, doesn't work at all. Resistance is necrotic. Now, it doesn't mean that it's completely resistance to it, because resistance means you take half damage. Now, senses, blind sight 60 feet, dark vision 120, passive perception 24. What does all that mean in your game? Simply, you have your miniature or you're doing a theater out of the mind, make sure that your Dracolich is in a position that it could, pretty much see where your opponents are, your players in the game, the party that is going to attack your creature. The senses are very, very cool. 60 feet is a lot of range, especially dark vision, and it has a wonderful passive perception of 24. You cannot blindside it. You can't. It will probably see you, or notice you. Languages, common and draconic. That's very common. Let's see here. Legendary resistance, 3 a day. What does that do? My players in my game, legendary resistance is kind of if they throw something at you that is a save, per se, you could turn that save into a succeed. You could succeed. And you get 3 of those a day. Legendary resistance is very good for your creature, and it helps a lot. Magic resistance. Again, resistance is half damage. A Dracolich has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. That's perfect. That's wonderful for this creature. Actions, multi-attack. The Dracolich can use its frightful presence. It makes 3 attacks, 1 with bite and 2 with claws. It's very common for creatures. You have your claws and you have your bite. The Dracolich is a pretty cool dragon. And it does 18, 2d10 plus 7, piercing, plus 5, 1d10 lightning damage. It's all based on the blue dragon, and it's very cool. I'm a big dragon guy, so all dragons, good or evil, they're very cool. Claws. Claws does an attack of plus 13 to hit. Reach 5, 1 target, 14, 2d6 plus 7 slashing damage. What does all this mean? to hit the plus 13 modifier. You roll your 20-sided, you add your modifier to the 20. So let's say you get a 20. That's a critical success. You get a lot of hit. So you're looking at 33 hit ratio right there. That's pretty strong. So your melee attack already is going to hit. Most players have ACs of 19, 18. And if you're playing high level characters, 21, 22 at the most. Its reach is 5 feet. A target 14, 2d6 slashing. What does that mean? You take 2 6-sideds and your modifier, which is plus 7, and that's slashing damage. Your claws. It's pretty cool. Your tail does plus 13, the same thing, 15 feet. Obviously, it's a tail, it has a longer reach, and for one target, it does 2d8 plus 7 bludgeoning damage. That means it doesn't pierce you, it hits you. Anything like a bat or a tail is going to be bludgeoning. That's so you know for your games. Let's see. Frightful Presence. This is really cool. For 120 feet, you could scare the shit out of people. For 1 minute. 1 minute is, long, especially in combat terms. Your DCS is 18 for your wisdom saving throw. Your opponents or your players, in this case a creature, and your players roll a wisdom save. If they fail it, they are frightened for 1 minute, and if they make it, then the effect ends, and you're immune to the Dracolich's frightful presence for the next 24 hours. So if you make that wisdom save, it's pretty cool. If not, you're going to be a little bitch for a little while. But it's very cool. Lightning Breath. Recharge 5 or 6. What does that mean? You grab a 6-sided, you roll it, and on a 5 or a 6, his lightning breath recharges. Dracolich exhales lightning for 90 feet cone, 5 feet wide, and that's massive. Each creature in that line of fire, you gotta do a dex saving throw. Dex saving throw, what does that mean? You have to get out of the way. You're gonna get nailed with lightning, you're gonna try to move out of the way. So you take 66, 12d10 lightning damage on a failed save. Or half as much on a successful one. So let's say you make it, and you still are going to take half damage. Again, 66, 12d10 lightning damage. That is nasty. So you're going to roll your 12, 10-sided, and then add 66 to it. That's nasty. Legendary action. What does that mean for everyone? Okay, legendary action, Dracolich can take 3 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. And the legendary action can be done after another creature's turn. For example, player 1 takes their turn, they attack, whatever, yada yada yada. They're done. I would say legendary action. You get 3, and 1 can be done in that full turn. Once that turn's done, next combat round, then you can use another legendary action. It's pretty cool. So, detect. The Dracolich makes a wisdom. It's under perception check. That's very cool. Tail attack, and then a wing attack. That's its legendary actions. Now, remember it has multi-attack, and a multi-attack has 3, your bite, your claw, and your tail, right? If you do your wing attack, it costs 2. So right now, you do not have your 3 attacks. You're going to waste your 2 actions, and that's going to be 1 attack. left after you do your wing attack. So what you would do is position your Dracolich properly before you do any of this. But a good lightning breath, and then the next round, a wing attack would be kind of deadly. They have to make a dexterity save of 21, and they take 14, and then 2d6 plus 7. So, and it's all bludgeoning. Once you take bludgeoning, take that damage, you're knocked out. After beating its wings, the Dracolich can fly up to half its flying speed. And its flying speed is about 80. Just remember all that. Okay. So far, so good. Everything is streaming good. I'm just checking my CPU and level, making sure everything's okay. All right, let's go back to the Dracolich. So, he flies 80 feet once he's done with his wing attack. And again, very powerful character, very powerful creature. It looks like a skeletal dragon. Has bits of bluish skin because it is under the blue dragon. So, that being said, let's go to the next one. The Dragon Shadow. Shadow dragons are true dragons that were either born in the Shadowfell or transformed by years spent within its dismal confines. Some shadow dragons embrace the Shadowfell for its bleak landscapes and desolation. Others seek to return to the material plane, hunger to spread the darkness and evil of the plane of shadows. I've used this in my campaigns before. In my campaign 1, and shadow dragons are very cool. Dark portals. Portals of the Shadowfell manifest in forlorn places and deep gloom of the subterranean caverns. The dragons that lair in such places often discover these portals and find themselves transported to a new realm. Ancient dragons that sleep in their lairs for months of years at a time might find themselves spirited away, never knowing that a portal has formed without their knowledge as they dream. Recast in shadow. The transformation to shadow dragon happens over a period of years, during which time dragon scales lose their luster and fade to charcoal hue. Its leathery wings become translucent, its eyes paling to pools of obelisk gray. Shadow dragons find sunlight, and they are weaker in bright light than they are in darkness. Hence the name, shadow dragon. Darkness makes the dragon fade to a spectral shadow of its former self. The magical nature of dragons holds an attraction of the Shadowfell, which seems somehow to crave the might and the majesty of these great reptiles. The Shadowfell also has effect such as a longer creature remains in the plane, the more it accepts the plane's blessings. As months and years pass for a dragon on the Shadowfell, it becomes aware of the transformation being wrought upon it, and yet do nothing to prevent it. Back in the world, the Shadow Dragon is so suffused with power of the Shadowfell that even to return to the material plane cannot undo its transformation. Some shadow dragons attempt to lure other creatures from the mortal realm back to the Shadowfell to keep them company, or at least they tire their guests and devour them. Others are happy to leave the Shadowfell behind forever, understanding that treasure and power are easier to come by in the material plane. So, it is a large dragon, chaotic, evil. It has an armor class of 18, natural armor, 178 hit points, 17d10 plus 85, speed 40, climb 40 feet, and then it flies 80 feet. Dexterity 10, strength 23 plus 6, constitution 21 plus 5. Intelligence 14 plus 2. Wisdom 11 plus 0. Charisma 19 plus 4. What does all that mean to you? As a player, as a DM, that means a lot. The higher those stats are, the stronger your creature is. Just remember that. Magic-wise, depending on what it is, you have your wisdom, you have your charisma and intelligence, which are 3 key abilities for magic. Just so you know. Saving throws: dexterity plus 4, constitution plus 9, wisdom plus 4, charisma plus 8. Excuse me, I just got a kink in my neck. I apologize. Skills: perception plus 8, stealth plus 8. Damage resistances: necrotic. Damage immunities: fire. We went over what these things do, so I'm not going to go over it. Senses: blind sight 30 feet, dark vision 120 feet, passive perception 18. Languages: common and draconic. Challenge rating 13, 10,000 experience points. It's pretty cool. Living shadow: while in the dim light of darkness, the dragon has resistance to damage that isn't force, psychic, or radiant. Shadow stealth: while in dim light of darkness, the dragon can take the hide action as a bonus action. Sunlight sensitivity: it's a little bitch in the sunlight. That's all you have to know. Sunlight, it's really bad for this dragon. And if you have any radiant magic, it's bad as well. Multi-attack: it has 3. Bite and 2 claws, like all dragons do. This one, a plus 10 to hit, reach 10 feet. For a bite, hit 17, 2d10 plus 6, piercing damage, 3, 1d6 necrotic damage. Claw, plus 10 to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target, 13, 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage. Shadow breath: again, roll 6-sided, 5 or 6, you can do your shadow breath. 56, and then you add 66. 16d6 necrotic damage. On a failed save, you take half. And this is called: the dragon exhales a shadowy fire in a 30-foot cone. Yes, you got to make a DC of dexterity saving throw, and that is an 18. Not too bad, but if a humanoid reduces to 0, you're dead. And there is no death save. You are dead completely. There's no way out of it. Anyways, that is all I have for you for tonight's episode of Creatures of the Realm. I will see you in a couple weeks for Creatures of the Realm. We're going to do this in a every 2-week basis and go from there. I'm going to do 2 creatures for each episode. So we had the Dracolich and we had the Shadow Dragon. So with that being said, I love you all. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think of Creatures of the Realm. Subscribe. Let everybody know what Creatures of the Realm is. Playerole. We have tomorrow. Tomorrow's game is the last episode. Join us 8 p.m. Central. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.